Elbows running for mayor of Whiting. I'd vote for him. I don't live here, but I'd vote for him.
I actually think that means you can't vote for him.
I'd figure a way out. Currently 73 degrees here in Whiting. 5-mile-per-hour winds, 11-mile-per-hour gusts coming out of the east, so the opposite of what it was yesterday. Feels like 70% humidity, and 14-mile visibility. This is one of those nice lakefront nights here in Whiting. It's nights like this where you wish you lived in the area.
For sure. You want to hear a fun fact?
Always.
Draza Dupour's brother, a related member of him.
All right.
For the Generals last season.
Okay.
Sava Dupour.
Good name. That one dealt in there for a ball. Out of curiosity, are they related? You know what I asked? So yesterday, right, after the game, Mike Jones asked me, he goes, who won trivia? And I said, Mike Grobes won trivia. He's the king of the third again. And so I asked him, I go, hey, Mike, do you know if Mike Grobes is like related to anyone, like a player? Is it a father? Is it some kind of brother? Is there some kind of relation between Mike Grobes and a player? But I didn't say. Is he related to anybody? And Mike Jones goes, yeah, his mother. I'm like,
true.
Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate that one there.
He's nailed the timing. I got to tell you, he just.
And that one rung up for strike 3, so Flanagan will go back to the dugout with the bat on his shoulder. 3 strikeouts on the day for Dupour. That's 2 in a row.
Of course, that is how the last inning started, getting the out quickly and then giving up 2 runs with the next set of batters, looking to get this second out quickly here against Scott.
That one outside to Scott. Emmanuel Scott, 18 games this year, 73 appearances, 297, 370 on base percentage. This would be a good guy to get on base at the bottom of the lineup and turn over to the top, who already has proven they can take Draza Dupour and his pitching arsenal. 1-1. Scott puts this one to the left side of the infield, quickly grabbed by Hockman and tossed over. Touches the dirt and then touches the leather. And Scott is out on the 6-3 putout to make it the second out of the inning. A already much better start to the second than that of the first, John.
For sure, 2 outs here. Good adjustment by Ellickson at first base to receive that throw from Hockman to get that second out.
That's probably and Andrew Gould playing. I Had Some Help by Morgan Wallen and Post Malone, probably the most recent song in a walk-up we've heard this season. 0-1 now to Gould. This one gets sent over to the left side of the infield one more time and one more out for the Generals. So 3 up, 3 down after giving up 2 runs in the first. A great turnaround from the Generals as they turn the third over here on the Oilmen Sports Network.
There's a shortage of roofers across the country. Here at Roofers Local 26, our signatory contractors are in need of a well-trained workforce, and it's our job to provide that workforce. We are looking for people that are self-motivated, people that are reliable, people that are willing to give a hard day's work. In return, they get a good paycheck with good benefits. This is not a job, this is a career. If you're willing to put the time and dedication in, we're willing to provide you the tools and training necessary for you to succeed in the roofing industry. We've been doing this for almost 100 years. We know how to get the job done.
No, it's not. Back here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network as we get set for the bottom of the second, or is it top of the third? It is top of the third. I don't think we played the right ad. To be completely honest with you.
Might have played the wrong one.
That's okay. Top of the third is brought to you by Lando Frost Meats. You need 3 things to make a sandwich, and make sure one of them is Lando Frost Meats. Head to your local grocery store and pick yourself up a package of delicious cold cuts, deli meats, and whatever it is you need to put between 2 slices of bread. Maybe some mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, vegetables. Third inning also means it's time for third inning trivia. As always, question comes at the top of the third, answer at the bottom. And always make sure to join us on our Northwest Indiana Oilmen Facebook. First person to get the correct answer becomes the king or queen of the third. Currently, who sits atop the oil throne is once again Mike Grobes. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but the king he is. Third inning trivia question of the day. It's about that time, and also All-Star game coming up here for the Northern League, so I figured I'd go to the All-Star game for the MLB. Who was the first ever MLB All-Star game MVP?
First All-Star game?
Can we get a year? No?
Yeah, I'll give you the year. It's
Okay.
1962. He was a Dodgers player, but 1962 MLB All-Star Game MVP. Who was it, folks?
62?
1962.
Before my time.
I remember it like it was yesterday, man.
Charlie was there in the beginning and the end.
From the first pitch to the last pitch of baseball that'll ever be thrown, I was present.
In spirit. Berggren back on the mound. Contain yourself, John.
My bad. I'm sorry.
It's Holland back at the plate after Outlaw is gunned down at first.
Second.
Excuse me, you are correct. You are right.
Took off from first ball. Pitch was not being
And the game
thrown.
is what I want it to be.
Fair enough.
Hayden was telling me earlier that
I've got the receipt.
Hayden was telling this guy who, like, it would be like a strikeout, and the guy would be like, a screaming line drive to left field. The guy would just make games up. I don't intend to do that. I don't intend to deceive you. This one thrown to the backstop, 1-2 now.
Exercise.
And 1-2 now. And Charlie, any thoughts as this one is hit by pitch? So Holland will eventually make his way to the base path on loan from a hit by pitch from Berggren.
Just extending his on-base percentage. That's going to be up over 400.
And, you know, when you have good stuff and you try to throw it on that count there, sometimes it comes back to get you. And that's exactly what winds up happening there. Winds up hitting the batter.
So the second base runner of the day for the Generals in back-to-back innings. So already looking to really improve from the first. This one thrown into the dirt. Swung and a miss there by Cabrales.
No lack of power coming from him, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the last times here, he put a ball out to that scoreboard in left field where he then found out you have to hit it over the scoreboard.
We had a couple guys do that last night. I originally started calling Noah Casera. I deemed him the brick monster as he was the only person to put one over the wall, and then someone immediately did it the same exact game. So he lost. He held that nickname for a solid 25 minutes.
Fair enough.
I think Rizai had the first one, and then Henschel wound up hitting the one later in the game.
1-2 now. Runner at first for Horatio Cabrales.
Team calls him Odie.
Good name. Big swing and a hit out to left field will get cut foul and into the Griffith Generals bullpen. I can see what you mean by hitting that brick monster there, John. He nearly did it again.
Odie, like the dog from Garfield? That was all I could think of. I mean, that is the dog from Garfield, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Odie?
Oh, no, it's Otis.
Oh.
No, he's Odie.
No, it's Otis.
I will bet you $100 cash.
I'm really excited to be $100 richer. Look it up.
Odie the dog. O-D-I-E.
See, here's the thing.
I take cash or check.
If I don't look at it, how about Northern League baseballs? I'm gonna go ask one of these people off to the right of the park if they got it. This one chopped over to third. Wendling loses it. Has to toss it over to first. Cabral. It's not a speedster by any means. So Holland goes over to second, and Cabral is tossed out at first. Good job by Wendling to at least save the error.
Cabrales also still nursing an ankle injury, a non-athletic angel injury. Fortunately, I think there's.
So, is it like a Chris Sale situation where he hopped out of his lifted truck and just, never was the same pitcher again? I'm sorry, I still hold resentments for you. I apologize.
Actually, I think it's more. There's a weird apparently I don't know. There's a weird step somewhere on the Griffith Athletics baseball area's site that he stepped off of and rolled his ankle. It might be right out of the dugout.
This one thrown at the back foot to Connor Jerkadis, catching today for the Generals.
You got me racking my brain thinking about players from the 60s.
Well, you got to think they were good enough to make an all-star team. There's
a lot of them that did.
I feel like any player that I may know from the 60s was good enough to make the all-star game, though.
It's pretty much the only, yeah. You got me there, folks. Hey, by the way, I'm just letting you know that Outlaws stats finally did just pull up now.
Let's go.
So second time through the order, we got you. This one into the opposite batter's box for a 3-1 count now from Bergeron. First runner in scoring position for the Generals today is Holland over there at second after his hit by pitch. And that one is called for ball 4. And Jerkadis will go down to first.
It'll bring up the top of the order here to face Bergeron for the second time. So Osteen to lead him off, or as the leadoff hitter, I apologize. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat against RJ.
So I'm trying to think for an all-star game MVP. My first thought was, when I think the 60s, I think the Reds with both Joe Morgan and
is that the
Pete
1860s?
Rose.
Or
No, Pete Rose and Joe Morgan both played in the 60s, but I believe they both started in 1963. So this is a year before they would have made their first appearance in the majors. So you got to think, this is pre-Pete Rose. You got to really go back there in the brain.
He's doing that thing where he talks himself into every answer but the one that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I hope he's not a Red. That really bummed me out.
I quite literally told you it was a Dodgers player.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I said that, 1962 Dodgers player.
Oh, gotcha.
No.
I know so many of those.
It's not just like one of like the 3 largest franchises in baseball.
Well, I'm wondering if it's a pitcher. There's a lot of notable pitchers from that era that it could potentially be.
I'm gonna be real with you, dog. I do not know what position he played.
All right, that's fine.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 runners on here for the Generals with 1 out. That one into the dirt. Good job by Emmanuel Scott.
At that point, were they the Brooklyn Dodgers in '62?
No. Yes.
I would assume they were.
When did Vin Scully start?
A long
time ago, man.
When the sands
I don't know.
of
When was
time
the
moved
Bible
slower.
written? Vin Scully was around the same time period.
Yeah, I usually use my abbreviations BV before Vin.
Yeah. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bergeron looks back now. Deals. This one gets shot through the infield and into right field. Runner's going to come around third. Holland is actually going to get held up. Ball's going to be bobbled around. Now Jerkadis is off the bag at second. Emmanuel Scott's going to run him down and hold the ball as long as he possibly can. Tossed over to second now, and the rundown's going to be at third. Bergeron is holding up home, and finally a tag will be made. Somebody's got to be out there.
Yep, it's the runner at second. He was off the base. Luigi's going to say they didn't tag him, but they very clearly did.
Okay, so you can't be in a situation where both of these guys are on the bag. Luigi needs to make a call here. And finally, he's going to direct traffic from about 45 feet away.
My favorite was that Jerkadis made that long step towards the bag and was like, "No, I'm safe now."
No. So, all right. Interesting.
Single to the right side.
Yeah. So Osteen reaches first on the single. Jerkadis is
out on the last play.
So
okay.
Holland advances. Hang on. Holland advances to third. He stops. Jerkadis goes, and he's eventually thrown out at third.
Thrown out at third in between second and third.
Correct.
Yeah, but now it's 2 outs with Cole Hockman up, who leads the Generals in RBIs this season. He's also an all-star.
All right.
Real quick, the Dodgers were in Los Angeles.
So was Vince Scully with them?
Yes, because didn't he started with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
They moved to Los Angeles in the year 1958.
So, oh wow, Vin Scully started working as the play-by-play announcer for the Brooklyn/Los Angeles Dodgers in 1950. That's 67 years of excellence.
Unbelievable.
Good number. This one thrown down to second, and Luigi's going to say he's gone. And the Generals blow a couple of more runners in scoring positions once again to the Griffith Generals. And we will head to the bottom of the third when we return. Your third inning trivia question. Who was the first ever MLB All-Star Game MVP? 1962, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Who was it? Find out when we...
You like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost premium meat.
Back here for the bottom of the third, and once again, Charlie Schmidgold trying to be a medium and trying to find the answer of third inning trivia in some sort of fashion. Goes always a little bit too far. Third inning trivia question once again. Who won the first ever MLB All-Star Game MVP in 1962? Gentlemen, as always, Brickhouse gets the first answer. We'll go down the line. Hunter and Hayden, do you guys have an answer down there, or even a guess?
I got the list. I'll be honest. I've got the list of the 1962 Dodgers.
Let's go Sandy Koufax. It's the only name I recognize.
Okay.
Hey, come on. That was the answer I was going to pick.
Well, you can. I believe you're allowed to still give that answer.
I know.
Hayden? Hunter? He
goes also
with
goes
the same
Koufax.
answer.
John?
Before you even looked it up, John, who did I say?
Koufax.
I said Sandy Koufax. I'm
It's a
going
good
with
guess.
Sandy Koufax, one of the greatest pitchers in Dodgers
I'm
history.
going to go Don Drysdale.
Okay, so let me tell you something. So you looked up 1962 Los Angeles Dodgers, and Google automatically gave you like a list of guys, right?
Yeah.
The list consists of Don Drysdale, Don Ferry, Ed Roebuck, Johnny Padres, Ron Paranovsky, Frank Howard, Sandy Koufax, Tommy Davis, Jim Gilliam. It's none of those guys.
It makes sense, obviously.
Yeah. The correct answer for the first ever MLB All-Star Game MVP was Maury Wills, which means Karen Whalen Willis. Karen Whalen Novena wins Queen of the Third. Once again, I believe it's her second time winning it, so congratulations. I had two options on questions today.
Oh yeah, give us the second one, and maybe we'll get that one.
This is the second one. The first one was who hit the first ever home run in the All-Star Game. In All-Star Game history, who hit the first ever home run?
Maury Willis?
Is not, no.
Oh, darn. Willis that year in the regular season, a .299 average. Good enough for second on the Dodgers that year.
Look up the 1962.
Holy, he had 104 stolen bases.
That's pretty good.
Look up who was an All-Star that year.
Okay, I will, but hang on. 208 hits, was second on the team that year.
Holy cow. Who must have been number one?
Tommy Davis with 230.
Well, that'll do it. Tommy Davis is quite the ball player.
2-2 now to Jalen House. Top of the order here for the Oilmen as we enter the bottom of the third. The answer to the first question, by the way, is Babe Ruth.
Oh.
Yeah.
So was there – well, then that answers my question.
I don't think there was an All-Star Game MVP for a while.
I was going to ask that prior to coming back.
Yeah, the two are not – the All-Star Game and the All-Star Game MVP are not concurrent.
A lot of guys made the All-Star Game that year.
Strike three there to House, his second strikeout of the day, and DePore's fourth. House swung out swinging last time up and strung out looking this time up, both the first outs of the inning. The last time Jalen House struck out, the Oilmen put up 2 runs. Maybe a pattern starting to build here. Do you have the All-Stars from 62?
Yeah, I mean, who do you want to know? You want me to read out 50 names?
I mean, do you have like some
I can
you know automatically?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Luis Aparicio.
Okay.
Aparicio, yes. Him and Nellie Fox were an excellent middle infield for the White Sox in the early 60s.
Yogi.
See, you knew that, but you didn't know the answer to the trivia question.
Yeah, because it
for
wasn't
the day.
White Sox related.
Oh, you're
true.
right. You're right. Well, the White Sox were a baseball team, so
They were.
they're
They
kinda-
were pretty
kind of
decent that
kind
year.
of White
Indirectly
Sox
related.
related.
85 and 77 that year.
Go on, John. This one gets lined up the middle. Dupour clips it off the glove and sent into the outfield. It's going to go down as a hit. So Paulie, after being hit by pitch, almost hits Draza Dupour as he sends that one back up the middle for a single.
All right, I'm going to give you some more here. Yogi Berra.
Oh, yeah.
Al Kaline, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris,
Wow.
Brooks Robinson,
Those are legends of the game.
Which one?
Hall of Famers.
Hank Aaron.
Never heard of him.
Oh, really?
Never heard of old Henry Aaron?
Which Brooks Robinson?
I would assume the Baltimore one.
The position player Gold Glove leader.
Yes.
Oh. This one gets chopped into center field and will drop. Paulie's on his high horse as he goes into third. So runners on the corners now after a single from Groberski.
Puts runners on the corners here. Draza Dupour trying to get another out before allowing another run here. Middle infield going to be pinched towards second base for that double play opportunity here with Groberski on at first. You don't want to be a donor and give the Oilmen another run here.
One ball, no strike now to Dasan Lee. Doubled his last time up. His first extra base hit of the season. I believe he did it out of spite. That one gets fouled
you,
off.
right?
Makes it 0-2. My correction on the score there. Yeah, it's completely out of me. I you know what? I accept that.
Hey, if you guys were
Dasan Lee's never hit a home run in his life. Here we go. Here we go. Lee, do it for me.
He's about to welcome you to a whole different level of baseball right here.
I believe in 1962 there were two different All-Star games. Because ESPN, if you didn't know, they can you can look at every roster all the way back until 1933.
Okay.
But they list July 10th, 1962 at the D.C. Stadium with 45,000 people in attendance, and that's the first one. And then they list July 30th, 1962 at Wrigley Field.
Interesting. I am going off of MLB.com.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Maury Willis is still the
Yeah.
first one.
I'm interested on if that's American and National Leagues having separate games.
Interesting. Yeah, like it was at each other's stadium. Interesting. Yeah, good question. Throw home and delayed steal is executed flawlessly as Paulie goes home for the third run of the game, and Groberski goes into second as we're trying to deliberate on how the 1960s All-Star Game worked.
I believe that is how this works. So 1963 is when it became just one game, I believe. But 1961 has two games listed. One of them, of course, ending in a tie.
Strike three, yeah, strike three there for Dasan Lee. Fifth of the day for Dupour. So looking at the stat book, he's had a good game so far. Just a couple of a series of unfortunate events to make it a 3-0 ball game with a runner on second. Now it's Caceres.
Would you be able to tell me where the first MLB All-Star Game was held? In 1933.
Probably New York.
Incorrect.
May I have a guess?
Yes.
I'm going to go St. Louis.
Incorrect.
I'll go Cincinnati.
It's still incorrect.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. Will you give me a region? Midwest, West.
Midwest.
Okay,
Oh,
Midwest. Okay. Is it at Wrigley in Chicago?
No.
Oh, interesting. Where was it?
Comiskey.
Oh, right city, wrong stadium.
Give you some guys on that team. Jimmy Dykes,
First ever All-Star Game?
I believe so.
So Babe Ruth?
1933.
Yeah.
No, I think that was too early for the Babe. Was it?
Well, he hit the first ever home run in All-Star Game history, so it had to have been pretty early.
I'm looking.
Unless there's no one hit a home run in the All-Star Game for like a long time.
Babe Ruth was in the 1933.
Get off me, Charlie.
Oh, man, I thought he was too old.
No balls, one strike. You got to remember, Babe Ruth played a long time.
He did. He was fueled by hot dogs and anger.
And cigarettes.
Yeah, that too.
One ball, one strike. Was a really good guy, community guy as well.
As well as Jimmy Fox, Luke Eric, Lefty Grove, Lefty Gomez, because, of course, two guys named Lefty in the
Was there a righty in there?
No, of course not. Well, wait, let me look.
Outside.
Oh, actually, 3 lefties in one game.
I would like to guess each of their hand is.
Probably lefty.
I would go left-handed for all three.
Winning pitcher, Lefty Gomez.
This one gets snubbed into short, picked up by Hockman and tossed over to first, and Luigi really didn't give a call, but it's going to be safe, I believe. Luigi kind of just tossed his hands up like, I don't know, what do you want for lunch? So Graberski goes over to third, and Caceres is into first with a single.
Yeah, I would have liked a more clear call from Luigi on that one. I do think he beat him out. I think that's the correct call at first, but you have to be adamant on that. So
yeah, I'll say
question.
this, like, listen, and as an umpire, you need to sell the call. And it's whether with volume or motion or high volume, low intensity, high intensity, whatever it is you do, you need to make the call so that no one in the ballpark goes, oh, he must now. And you have to know that you got it. Runner goes to second, no throw attempt after the delayed steal attempt previously scored a run. So Graberski stays at third. Caceres goes to second. And it's Wendling batting now. Struck out his last time up to end the first inning.
Trying to find the first year that they did the 2 games.
2 balls, 1 strike now to Wendling. He gets a hold of this one over to Hockman at short. Picked up and tossed over for the out. That one in time and on the money. So the Oilmen put up another run here in the bottom of the third, and we will head into the middle portion of this game when we come back here on the Oilmen Sports Network.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Miller Lite tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. It is both. It is both. It is both. It is both. It's both.
Hey, thanks for the backup. Get your tickets now.
Quick summary of what's happened so far. The Oilmen struck first in the first inning, putting up 2 runs after Jaja DePore struck out House, and the Oilmen were able to strike back with 2 runs from Pauly and Graberski. Both teams went scoreless in the second, and the Oilmen struck back once again in the bottom of the third. 2 hits for the Generals, but no runs. 6 hits for the Oilmen on 3 runs, no errors. Been a pretty clean game so far.
We were talking about how, we weren't around in 1962, so we got to bring up our stats on Maury Willis for his entire career. 1 MVP in that season.
Okay.
He had 104 stolen bases, like I said. The next closest is 94. After that, it's 53. What was he doing those 2 years?
Running a lot.
The on-base percentage doesn't change that much. He also has 2 Gold Gloves and 3 World Series. So that's nice.
This one slingshotted over to right field for a base hit. Hockman will lead off the fourth with a base hit for the Generals.
First baseman, number 30.
And the Generals, John, really got to get something going here. Not to the halfway point just yet, but you're going to officially start running out of time here. And so you've gotten some hits. You've been able to crack the code on Berger in just a little bit, but some interesting, miscommunications and base path dilemmas have kind of kept you guys out of this game. So you guys got to really clean those up.
For sure, and I think this part of the order here, 2, 3, 4, 5, is kind of like their own hitting academy. They are able to really just put the ball wherever they want when they get a hold of it. And if they can string some together here, it could become a much closer game.
Ellickson up to bat now. That hitting academy has struck out their last time up. Ellickson in the first, Davis and Buckley in the second.
I thought we were calling a balk on that pitch.
They beg to differ.
But I don't know. Luigi turned around in the field and just wasn't even looking at the pitch when it happened. I thought he threw his hands up. But now we're here in a 1-2.
Called a strike, 1-2 indeed. At this point, the Generals, who have had base runners but haven't been able to get them across the plate, this one gets away from Scott. Hockman will go as Ellickson backs up for a 2-2 count. I was just going to say the Generals, I don't want to say need to play conservatively with their base runners, but so far they haven't been well spent.
No, you had the Outlaw leave for second base a little way too early. Didn't have the correct timing down on RJ out there on the mound. So, and then you just had somebody thrown out between second and third again.
And Osteen got thrown out in the third as well. So 2-2 now with a runner on second. This one swung on and missed by Ellickson. 2 strikeouts on the day from him, both swinging. And that brings up Trip Davis.
Third baseman, number 32, Trip Davis.
And, Trip Davis hasn't really made himself at home, but you don't want him to. Again, we've seen the power and the ability he has. I mean, he can turn any ballpark into his own Trip Temple at any time where he's really able to get things going together.
That one inside. Hockman doing a lot of movement over there at second, but Berggren paying him no attention. Sun is about officially set here in Whiting. Field being still illuminated by sunlight, but lights are on as well. That one inside for ball 2. And Charlie, who do the Oilmen have in the way of relief today coming out of the bullpen?
So they've got Cole Deerdorf, who is available here today, as well as a newcomer to the squad. It was Nick Jukovic.
That one called a strike, I believe, on the pitch and not the swing. 2-1.
Jukovic, sorry. And he's going to be an incoming freshman at Florida Tech.
Doesn't he play for the Bulls?
No, not quite.
No.
Not the same guy.
Nikola Jukovic.
Runner goes, but the ball is fouled off. Davis upset with himself there. It was a good jump, 2 from Hockman.
Yeah, I think Hockman has figured out RJ to the point where when he comes set, he'll take one look. If he looks almost immediately back to the bag after coming set, he's going to look a second time. But if he sits for a second and then looks, he only looks one time.
Don't let him leave the booth, folks. He's going to start giving information to the opposing teams. Full count now to Davis. A great eye, though, John, I will say.
But I think that's at the same time, RJ's doing a great job of mixing it. So that's where those base running mistakes could have come from the Generals in the first 3 innings.
And strike 3. I'm going to put it as a backwards K in the book. Makes it 2 back-to-back strikeouts for Berggren, also back-to-back strikeouts for Ellickson and Davis, and that brings up Buckley, who struck out his last time up as well, looking to complete the middle frame trifecta here. And this one hit high into center field. House is going to take a couple steps over, and that one goes into the back of the leather. So once again, the Generals put a runner in scoring position, but do not put him across the plate as we head to the bottom of the 4th here on the Oilmen Sports Network.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today. After our minimally invasive spine surgery, 80% of golfers maintained or improved their handicap. Be treated by the pros to play more like a pro. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
That's right, Candace. We're getting multiple reports of this mysterious but powerful phenomenon. People are experiencing a sound, after which they drop everything, and I mean everything, and run to their nearest White Castle. Now, we are urging folks to stay calm. There's no evidence that this...
Richard, we're live.
When the crave calls,
Richard, we're live.
Go to White Castle for the $5 bacon bundle with 2 bacon sliders and a small fry. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Bottom of the fourth here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network, joined alongside Charlie Schmidgel and John Lieber. I'm John Mastay. As the sun is finally starting to set here in Whiting and the lights take mainstay. It's been a beautiful night for baseball, but not a beautiful night for the Generals in terms of base running. They've had the opportunities, John, just not been able to get them across.
Yeah, I don't know who was in charge of the calculation today, but the league-leading Generals in stolen bases haven't been able to get as many as they'd like today.
Also, the worst part about it is with Buckley's flyout, Outlaw was next up, and I was ready to swap over to his college staff and give him to the fans, but couldn't have that one happen there.
Maybe we'll get it soon.
Scorebooks flip over. Flanagan will lead off for the Oilmen, and first pitch from DePore. Now, I asked the same question, or I asked this question to Charlie before break, John. Who do the Generals have coming out of the bullpen today?
It should be Mike Jones, and Adana Barca.
Mike Jones is the Oilman
superfan will be pitching for the Griffith. It's going to be lob pitches the entire time. It's going to be who can hit the farthest ball over the brick monster. This one gets chopped over to the left side of the infield. Good snag there by Tripp Davis to sling it over to first for the out. That one could have easily popped up on him and gotten into the outfield, but he makes the good adjustment on the loose ground ball.
The catcher, number 4,
and we've seen that just a little bit. You know, guys arrange themselves in a good position, and then the infield kind of forces a ball to go in opposite direction than they would have liked. So once again, good job by Davis there. Emmanuel Scott now grounded out his last time up. Takes a first pitch strike there from DePore. Hits this ball high, will stay in play as the right side of the defensive chart tries to track it down and cannot. Takes a bounce off the warning track and into the bullpen. I think the bullpen can deposit balls for $1. If that's the case, I might have to try out as a pitcher here for the Oilmen.
I'm going to get a comically large glove sitting there and just snag them all.
Just one glove full, he says. No balls, 2 strikes to Emmanuel Scott.
Unfortunately, I left my comically large glove in my other car today.
Unfortunate.
You know, sometimes I just forget. I switch them in and out.
Emmanuel Scott opens fire on that one to the middle of the infield. Picked up but tossed over in time. Looked like it was going to be close, but a great job there by Osteen to get the ball over. Out for Emmanuel Scott, this time from the opposite side.
And that's a tough play there by Osteen to be able to get all the way over in front of second base, between second base and the mound, and then turn your body the whole other direction to get that thrown out.
You can also tell that the baseball handcuffed him a little bit. You saw him have to bring his hands in a little bit to the diaphragm, but he's able to get it out in time to get the ball out. Andrew Gould now takes that one for a ball. You can look at me all you want, John. It was a good word.
It was. I was just handcuffed. Thesaurus, that was my word.
I mean, that was your word.
What was the other word you said?
Diaphragm.
Abdomen, you know.
Yeah.
Look, man, if vocabulary is the flavor you're going for, John Mastay is the broadcaster you want to order.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one sent down Main Street for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike. This one swung on and missed there from Gould.
DuPore just 1 strike away here from getting out of this inning. And another scoreless inning for the Oilmen, trying to keep it at just a 3-run game.
Above the gloves there to Gould, makes it a full count with 2 outs, no runners on here in the bottom of the 4th. Generals looking to get to the halfway point here. And it will not be after that pitch, fouled off. Three and 2. Fouled off again. That one might have clipped Jerkadis in the hand, but he seems to be all right.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Some of these Generals catchers are tough, man. I see them take foul balls, take pitches, right off of them, and they're like, I'm okay.
We've seen a couple hard hits at Brian Jennings Field, swung on and missed there by Gould, and he will take a long journey back to the dugout. And that will do it for the fourth frame of baseball. We'll enter the top of the fifth when we return here on the Oilmen Sports Network.
Go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an iron worker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
BP's natural gas teams use Smart App technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Work together.
Top of the fifth inning here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network, brought to you by Miller Lite. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Where is it, 5 o'clock, John? Alaska? Alaska, 5 o'clock in Alaska. For those of you in Saskatchewan.
What?
That's a place in
That's a province
Alaska.
in Canada.
That's a province
Saskatchewan. Trying to think of other places in Alaska. Juneau as well, the capital.
Where's the dog race at?
Oh,
Alaska. Yes, it's in Alaska.
Wherever you are on the Great Frontier, I hope one of the things you find in the woods is a Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling, and the fifth inning also means it's time. Oh, sorry. Also, Charlie, if you're in the woods and if you're in the Great Frontier and you find a Miller Lite in the woods, what are you supposed to do with it?
Drink it responsibly.
Drink it responsibly. There you go.
Also, look for the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel guy. He's always in Alaska.
That guy is pretty cool.
I got honey butter and
never has chocolate though.
Never chocolate.
Yeah.
And the warm tang. He's always drinking the warm tang.
You ever seen his Japanese truck?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it's time for TISH Today in Sports History, brought to you by Miller Lite. 1933 is the first ever MLB All-Star game.
No way.
I'm going to need a replay on that one.
Do you guys know who the MVP was? They didn't have one.
You got him. You failed trivia. You're not the king of the third. You're the jester of the third. 1989, Mike Schmidt becomes the first ever retired player named to start in an All-Star game, and he declined to play. So here's my question. What's the point?
What? Who named the All-Star?
I don't know.
It can't be a fan vote. What are they going to do? Go to the World Wide Web?
Yeah. Twitter back in '89 was blowing off.
89, 33.
Oh,
no,
these are
did you guys?
Yeah. 19.
I thought we were talking about 33. My bad.
No, 1989. No, 1989 Twitter. Hey man, did you see the new Ninja Turtles cartoon? Or what are they talking about in '89? I don't know.
Man, we're 10 years away from Y2K.
Man, these afros are going out of style. What's Miami Vice? What season is Miami Vice on now?
Where can I get parachute pants?
If you guys can't tell, none of us lived in the 80s whatsoever. Yeah.
No, but we were all there watching baseball at the same time.
We were. In 2000, back to Today in Sports History, 2002.
I was there.
Maybe. I was. Serena Williams beats Venus Williams for her first Wimbledon title.
Oh, I was not there.
A lot of people do not know this, and they get this mistaken, and we've talked about this before, but Serena is the younger sister of the two of them. Everyone just assumes she is older because she is better. She isn't. She is not old. She's definitely better. She's not older. A walk there, back to the game. A walk there as Outlaw. We missed the stats.
I was hoping you'd take it long enough time. He hit 2 foul balls for you to be able to stop today's sports history to give the crowd his stats.
We really went on with Alaska in the 80s.
They
were probably like, man, I can't wait for Seinfeld to come out.
I have a random tangent.
Man, the Bulls will never win a title.
You know, Serena Williams is married to the inventor of Reddit.
What?
I can tell you
wow.
that. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Love, probably.
Love and probably
r/Venus Williams is not as good as Serena Williams.
Oh, we're back.
We are back. That's today in sports history, brought to you by Miller Lights. Nice Saturday night. Hope you guys have a good time. Whatever it is you do, just please drink responsibly and be safe. As this one gets shot out to second, quick shovel pass over to second base, and the throw over to first is in time. So as we go back to baseball, the Oilmen go back-to-back on outs like the Bulls in 96, 97. I don't think they won in 97. That's a bad term to use. No, they won in
95, 96, 90. I don't know. I wasn't alive. Now you got me double guessing.
It was 2, 3, and 4. 92, 93, 94. Took a break.
98 was the end of the
back-to-back like the cover of Lethal Weapon. And Holland grounds out into a double play there.
I like that one. That one checks.
Thank you. Brings up Cabrales now. Odie.
There was a slim miss. He nearly hit his teammate in the on-deck circle, but he did a nice little matador kind of pull away. It was smooth.
I had to inform. Have you done a game at Highland yet?
No.
No? Okay. So I had to inform.
It's game 21.
I had to inform Charlie of this the other day. But Highland has 2 dirt circles, essentially
it's called the field.
These 2 dirt circles, I kid you not, maybe 10 steps behind the batter's box. And Charlie goes, I don't know why anybody would want to do, practice hitting there. And it's exclusively for, fungo hitting, batting practice. And Charlie's reaction was, that's dumb.
I don't think I would have said it that blatantly. I probably said it a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you would have done lawyer talk for that's dumb.
Legalese.
Yeah. That is not contractually binding, sir. I'm on Suits. Strike 3 there from R.J. Bergwijn. Add another one to the belt as he goes back to the dugout. And finally, we are at the halfway point of this game, and the Oilmen try to close it out as we enter the bottom of the 5th.
Like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
Hello? We're in the void, ladies and gentlemen. It appears as though our main camera has decided to stop functioning. We're still here. John Mastay still here with us. Say something because I don't know if he knew that our camera just decided to stop working.
Welp indeed.
It's radio.
It's not plugged in.
And we're back.
Hey,
no, hang on. It's just it's on reserve battery.
Well, no, we're back.
Nope, we're here.
All right.
Hey, hello everybody. I know you could hear us the whole time, but it doesn't matter. We're here.
Go to commercial again, then come back.
You didn't see anything.
Bottom
Literally.
of the 5th. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I'm going to gaslight the audience.
We're playing to a certain effect.
I'm going to gaslight the audience. We were just talking about how you are going to give me a lot of money.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I'm not going to.
The audience could hear us.
I know. I'm the audience. Remember, we talked about the audience was going to donate to us a lot of money. We talked about this.
No.
It's called gaslighting, John. Pick it up.
Come on.
You're not going to give me the satisfaction. You're not going to give me the satisfaction. All right.
If you would just present me with a singular sweet treat, I would appreciate that.
All of you listening are very lucky because if the home plate camera didn't come back, we were just going to turn on a camera that just looks at Charlie.
That was going to be our only other option.
It was going to be like it was just going to be like it was going to be like American Gothic, that farmhouse where the 2 people who they've never been happy in their entire lives with the pitchfork. They're like, is this good?
What is that called?
American Gothic.
And I'd like to share another thought, ladies and gentlemen. The computer asking, do we want to install the updates now or try tonight as we're broadcasting this game? Probably not right now. I think you should have a little more common sense than that, MacBook.
Speed and efficiency, that's all it's about. Jalen House up to bat now for the Oilmen, has struck out twice in this game. We'll try to somewhat resemble a baseball broadcast here come the bottom of the 5th inning now. I mean, have you been listening to John Schriffen? You can't really call that baseball.
Wow.
1-1 now. Here's the thing with John Schriffen. I don't actually think is he a great broadcaster? No, not by any means. However, I think a lot of people are just harboring a lot of hate towards the White Sox as a whole, and he is the face of the White Sox right now. And
well, obviously, because there's nobody good on the team.
That's not true. But they're just not playing good. Andrew Vaughn, Garrett Crochet,
Tommy Pham is good
great.
right now.
Luis Robert Jr. is not playing amazingly. That one gets sent hard into right field, and Jalen House breaks the K curse. 2 strikeouts in a row, ended up by a base hit. And now 1 through 5 on the Oilmen lineup have reached base. 6 through 9 have not. Come on, bottom of the lineup. Am I right, guys?
All right.
Jake Pauley now stepping into the batter's box. House goes. They almost pick off Draza Dupor. And Connor Jerkadis almost has to have a battery change.
He may have one soon anyways. Mike Jones out there in the bullpen warming up for the Generals during the last half inning.
Once again, not Mike Jones, Oilman superfan.
Although that would be fun.
It would.
I think he'd be ready for it.
It'd definitely be better than me and Charlie, I can tell you that much.
Automatic. Is that an automatic White Castle player of the game?
Yes.
All right.
If Charlie, I've said this before, if Charlie ever does see field time, automatic player of the game. I don't care if he goes 0 for 6 with 5 errors.
I don't know that my spirit could handle me going 0 for 6 with that many errors.
You
I'd take myself out of the game.
You have to do it for the people.
If you say so.
If I do say so. That was Jalen House's 6th double of the season, by the way. He also has 2 triples and 10 home runs. No home runs on the season. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's his 11th single. I'm wondering why you're touching me. I'm like,
so I
he is I quickly steal that base.
I quickly looked at my book and I was like, okay, there's a line over to first and a line to second. That's a double. And I did not look at the circle I put around 1B. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks for stopping me there. Appreciate that. 3 balls, 1 strike now to House.
We didn't stop you.
To Paulie. You did stop me. You actually did stop me.
Kinda.
I would have continued.
Going.
I would have continued talking if you didn't say something. Actually, you didn't say anything. Hayden looks at me and was like, "That's a single." As if like,
I was trying to tell you very lightly, and then Hayden gave you the quick. It's a single.
Yeah, that was Hayden's. It's a single was his way of going. You're an idiot. I've been around Hayden long enough. And that one gets thrown outside. It will be a walk, but the runner will advance. As House, off of a single and a stolen base, goes over to third on another stolen bag. Good job there to eliminate a force out at third as well by House.
So now Dupor with 83 pitches so far just through 4 innings and now 2 batters here in the 5th. He's got a first and third situation with no outs.
Time for the designated hitter to step back up. Ryan Groberski, who's had 2 singles today, has scored once to reach third his last time up. Runner goes. Paulie will step into second, eliminating the force out here with no outs. This is the Oilmen game for the Oilmen. Are trying to put the final nails on the Generals. And matter is whether or not going to hammer him in or not. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Groberski, and he lines this one up the middle. Hockman can't get over to it in time. House takes a nice jog home. Paulie will slightly jog into third. And that will be an RBI single for Groberski, his 3rd single of the day.
He's a great hitter. I mean, through and through. When we were talking about All-Stars, this is a guy that was 100% a shoe-in. He's just an excellent hitter. He does well in every way.
And he proves so there. So runners on the corners now for Dasan Lee. Doubled his first time up, struck out his last time up. The double was purely out of spite, we decided. Runner goes to second. Throw will go down. Hockman will come across the diamond to cut it off. The Oilmen had a delayed double steal successfully executed so far in this game. So the Generals don't want to give him another one. And a lot of stolen bases today for the Oilmen. I would like to say they've been outlaws when it comes to stealing, but there is an outlaw on the Generals, so it would be really confusing.
Buster Scruggs.
What? What?
He's an outlaw. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes,
I
don't believe he's on the Generals, though.
Wasn't he, I don't know, didn't he get picked up by, like, the Clippers one year?
What?
I don't know. No, the only outlaw that they had was Big Baby Glenn Davis.
The only outlaw that the Clippers have is James Harden because every dime you give to him is stolen. This one gets thrown into the dirt. Paulie will run home. Throw back to the plate is way offline. Connor Jerkadis was trying to play dodgeball with Jake Paulie there. Almost got him, too. Groberski moves over to third. And Desan Lee now at home with a 2-2 count and a runner on third. And no outs for the Oilmen here in a 5-0 ball game.
Really nice work. And, again, it's not just what they're doing with the bats. It's what they're doing on the base paths. Plays that they're making have made the Oilmen successful.
That one chopped off and foul. I can't, Charlie. You're going to know this. I'm sorry for not. Where does Desan Lee go to school?
Desan Lee is committed to go to a college. He just graduated from high school.
Oh, okay.
And
where do you go to high school?
I would have to check on that. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm only asking as he strikes out there because he has a D on his batting helmet, so I want to know if that's just because it's for Desan or it's because he went to a school that was like he didn't. It's not like he didn't go to Dyer because that's Lake Central. And there's going to be a mound visit now, and it also looks like this will be a mound visit here for the Generals. So that will be the last we see of Draza Dupor on the mound tonight. So they'll do the fist pump exchange at the white painted lines, and we will take a quick break here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network.
Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world, keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
It's not Oilman superfan Mike Jones, but instead Griffith Generals relief pitcher Mike Jones, and I'll send it over to General John to tell us all about him.
Yeah, fourth appearance, 7 innings pitched so far, 8 hits, 4 earned runs on 10 strikeouts. The Oilmen in check here with Groberski on third. His first batter he'll face is Noah Caceres, who's 2 for 2 on the day. That runner on third is Draza Dupor's responsible runner.
Draza Dupor ends the game with 5 strikeouts and 5 runs, as well as 8 hits.
5 runs right now.
You are correct. You're correct. There's still a runner on third. Pardon me. I always forget how that is scored in the book, but you are right. So here's the first pitch from Jones, and it's an outside fastball for ball 1. This one gets high carried over to left field, but it will be foul.
Just barely foul there, maybe within a foot from the line. Lucky for the Generals as it's now just 1-1 with still a runner on third.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out now for the Oilmen. That one high and outside, 2-1 to Noah Caceres. Brian Groberski over at third. Outside once again. Mike Jones struggling to find the outside portion of that plate.
We've also seen Caceres hit a couple of home runs here, so you definitely don't want to put something over the middle for him.
3 balls, 1 strike to Caceres. Is outside for a walk.
So it puts runners on the corners here again for the Generals and Mike Jones. Still looking for his first out in the inning. He'll face Wendling. He's 0 for 2.
Yeah. Johnny Wendling struck out his first time up, ground out at his second in the third. And like John said, runners on the corners now. The middle infield's going to be back in somewhat close towards second base. Corners are going to be close towards the bags. Ellickson will be on first, trying to hold that runner. Pickoff attempt, no good. Just trying to keep Caceres at first. The Oilmen have stolen a good amount of bases today. And so with 1 out, you don't want to eliminate the force out here if you're the Generals.
8 stolen bags on the day so far for the Oilmen.
That one tipped off and into the glove of Jerkadis. 0-1. Runner was in motion but fouled off by Wendling. Another foul ball for the backyard.
They're collecting them.
0-2, yep.
They're going to be able to build a mighty tower of baseballs.
And there now will be a short mound visit here between Jones and Jerkadis. Johnny Wendling takes a massive practice swing, almost took off the head of the home plate umpire.
We're grateful he didn't.
So no balls, 2 strikes here on Wendling. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Generals just trying to get 1 here. They want to try to force that double play, but they got to focus on Wendling first. 0-2 pitch. It's fouled off again. Pretty large gap in right center field between Buckley and Outlaw. That one called strike 3. Throw down to second is not in time. So Wendling strikes out looking, his second of the day, and the first strikeout for Mike Jones. The runner Caceres does get to second in time. And from up here, it looked close.
It was very close, but that'll be the 9th stolen bag of the day for the Oilmen. They've been busy out there with the Generals infield.
Brings up Quinn Flanagan now 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out with 2 runners in scoring position here for him. That one inside under the elbows for 1-0. Flanagan this season 4 RBIs. Would like to add 1, potentially 2 here to make it a 7-0 ball game. 1-1. Oilmen have already scored 2 this inning. They're trying to get to 10 runs before the 7th inning. This one gets roped out into right field. A diving.
He caught it. That was his hat.
And Josh Outlaw drops the hat and picks it up, and a Cowboy rides off into the sunset. And we will end the 5th inning and head into the 6th when we return to the Oilmen Sports Network.
There's a shortage of roofers across the country. Here at Roofers Local 26, our signatory contractors are in need of a well-trained workforce, and it's our job to provide that workforce. We are looking for people that are self-motivated, people that are reliable, people that are willing to give a hard day's work. In return, they get a good paycheck with good benefits. This is not a job, this is a career. If you're willing to put the time and dedication in, we're willing to provide you the tools and training necessary for you to succeed in the roofing industry. We've been doing this for almost 100 years. We know how to get the job done.
R.J. Berggren still on the mound for the Oilmen, who has only left. Is there a pitching change? There is a pitching change. I am in a state of confusion here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you. It's starting to be twilight, getting a little bit darker.
Yeah. It will be a new pitcher, and I believe
it's Nick Jukovic.
Oh, it's the Bulls center. All right.
No, not the Bulls center. He is a right-handed pitcher coming to the squad from Florida Tech. Got a chance to talk with him pregame. Feeling good. Excited for the chance to make his debut here for the Oilmen. And again, not getting an opportunity in the twilight of this game. We are still, only in the 6th inning. And the Oilmen do have another pitcher, so we'll have to see how long his leash is in this one.
Berggren's day ends with 5 innings pitched, just the 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks on 7 strikeouts. Keeps that ERA at 0.
And at this point, it's getting more and more so impressive.
It really is. He's gotten the Generals multiple times to the point that not just today, but in past games, it's been a lot of abuse from Berggren to the Generals this season.
Yeah, I mean, he has not got to be your favorite pitcher to see, because it seems like every time he comes against you, he came to play today. I mean, only 3 hits allowed through those 5 innings, work, no earned runs, no runs, period.
And so we will see Jukovic.
All
right. For the first time here, and his first pitch in an Oilman sweater is a ball. Also called ball there. That one must have been low in the zone, 2-0.
I called in the fix. No, I'm kidding. I promise.
Yeah. So the FBI are outside waiting for you. That one called a strike. Might have been a gimme pitch from the last attempt, but not here.
Not the FBI.
No.
They're here?
No.
They're here?
2-1 pitch from Jukovic is inside the zone on that one. That one might have been a little bit outside. That was the give-me pitch.
And it's Jerkaitis up. He's got a walk on the day, so this could be his first potential at-bat here in a 2-2 count.
And that one dealt outside for a full count.
Would you guys like to be updated on the Jerkaitis saga? All of his hits still against the Oilmen.
All right.
He's really got to turn up against somebody else so you can stop rubbing that in my face.
I think the Griffith Generals should hire a hypnotist, and so you make Jerkaitis think that he's playing against the Oilmen.
Do you guys think we could borrow a few of the Oilmen jerseys?
Just to give to opposing pitchers?
Yeah.
I'm on to your game.
No, I'm in the idea category of we just gaslight him into thinking he's playing these. Hey guys, these look like Vikings jerseys, and we're at Dowling Park. It's the Oilmen.
They've gotten.
You're seeing things. They've been red all along. Yeah, this one gets fouled off. 1-1 now.
Sometimes, it just happens.
Connor Jerkadis sees the Oilman jerseys and turns into Pete Rose without the gambling. just hits the ball really hard. This one allows Jerkadis to move over to second. Doesn't have to roll the dice on that one. And he'll take a bag there. As Hackman still at the plate now. 1-2 on him. One ball, 2 strikes now. Jukovic looks back. That one low and into the dirt. Good pick up by Emmanuel Scott to make it 2-2. Infield's back 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed there by Hockman. Makes it the second out of the inning. And the first strikeout for Jukovic in an Oilman uniform. Throw that ball to the dugout and throw it in your bag.
Throw it to me. I'd like $1.
Good point. That's literally throwing money away.
Let me get like 50 cents of that.
Yeah, keep the ball so that... I wonder if any of the players do that. They keep the ball and then they give it to their little brother to go get them $1 when they leave. A few years ago.
Kids are handing in brand new baseball. They just bring in the box. Hey, here you go. These are still in plastic wrap and sealed.
Yes.
They just like hand them the UPS box. Hey, we found these. Jukovic deals big golf swing from Ellickson is no good. Makes it 0-2. I think the umpire got a couple seams out of that one. Still 5-0 here in the top of the 6th. That ball apparently got clocked in at 145 per hour according to our speedometer in left field. Ooh, that one just inside, waves the umpire.
Just barely inside there on the 0-2 pitch.
Jukovic is laughing about it because he thought it was a strike. He's still smiling out there. Always a good attitude to have. Get ready for the 4-seam fastball. And that's what it was, and he was ready for it as this one gets sent out to right field and caught. So a good first appearance there from Jukovic in an Oilman uniform, and we'll head to the bottom of the 6th when we return here on the Oilman Sports Network.
Hey, thanks for the backup.
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Back here on the Oilman Sports Network, as Hayden Myers, our resident composer, plays the YMCA here at the ballpark. John Mastey, John Lieber, Charlie Schmidgall here for your entertainment. And Candy Lieber waves high.
I don't believe she's currently listening. She's here in the crowd. Should we all wave and wait till she looks?
Until she notices us? Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Is she sitting down there in the seat backs in the second row?
Yep.
Well, wave at her. If you
She's
are
on her
listening,
phone.
Candy, turn around.
Let's keep waving, guys. Just smile and wave, boys. Just as she waves back. All right, yeah.
Should we get her up here to sing the
Just
seventh
smile
inning
and
stretch?
wave, boys. Just smile and wave. Bottom of the 6th here on the Oilman Sports Network. A 5-0 ball game. The Oilmen have gone 2-0-1-0-2. What's the I'm the vocabulary guy. What's it called when a word spelled backwards?
Palindrome.
Palindrome. Yes. Taco cat and race car.
You got another one?
I was waiting for you guys to join. If anyone knows any palindromes here on the Facebook live stream, come over and tell us.
Palindromes.
Yeah, search palindromes.
SOS.
And I don't want a boring one like mom or wow or dad. I want something with like 65 letters.
The catcher number 4, Emmanuel Scott.
Like civic, radar, level.
Kayak is good.
Rotor, kayak.
I feel like the inventor of the word palindrome should have made the word a palindrome itself.
That would have been more fitting.
Yeah, I feel like it should have.
Well,
so scorebook flips over here for Emmanuel Scott. 0 for 2 on the day. Has put the ball in play, and he fouls this one off.
Wow, that pitch came in at 148 miles an hour.
It's interesting.
This guy should be playing for the pros.
Every minute, the fastball seems to get a mile an hour faster. It's almost like it.
Do we do sticky substance check here in the Northern League? I think we might have to. This one gets put down the line and into the glove of Trip Davis, tossed over to first for the out. So Emmanuel Scott 0 for 3 on the day after putting the ball in play. He has hit to the second baseman, the shortstop, and now the third baseman, really just trying to get that trifecta of the infield.
Shortstop number 41, Andrew
So I've got the
please, yep.
the longest palindrome in any language.
Oh, good luck saying that, buddy.
I don't speak Finnish,
all right,
so I won't be trying to say it. But it is the word for a dealer in lie.
You know, my sister's best friend is from Finland. Would you like me to call JC and see if she's with her?
You could, I guess.
I guess.
You don't have to, really, but
like
we'll take your
out of curiosity, like how Finnish is she?
She just became a U.S. citizen. This was her first 4th of July as a U.S. citizen.
Oh, okay, so like very. All right, I didn't know if it was like a situation.
I
where
don't
it was
know.
like,
I would say she's less Finnish than she was last year.
That
very
is true.
She is less Finnish
very
than
true.
she was last year.
And that one gets finished to left field as Andrew Gould gets his first base hit of the day after grounding out and striking. You see what I did there, John?
I did.
Thank
yes.
you. And that one is a single, and the lineup will backflip over to Jalen House, who singled his first time up with 2 stolen bases and scored.
I'd like to apologize to anybody with ibophobia, which is the fear of palindromes. I'm sorry. This is
wow. 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 That took an odd term. Palindrome, kayak, refer. Very good.
Those are good ones, yeah.
This one thrown at the hips there to House.
Are there any baseball words that are?
Good question. I'm thinking.
I'm going to think no.
I debated just saying one that was definitively wrong for shock value.
Let's make some words. This one gets kayaked out to center field, and backtracking is Buckley. And Gould got a little bit of an early start on that one, but is able to make a return. He was around second base when that ball was caught. So House flies out to center, and luckily there's now just only 2 outs here in the 6th and not 3. Brings up Jake Pauley now.
Technically the score right now. How many runs?
So that is originally how I had the thought in my mind, is I was going to say the scoreboard was a palindrome, but I didn't know what the word was, and so eventually I had to hand it off over to you.
Right.
So
that's the box score palindrome currently. In the 6th inning, though, it's going to end. Well, it will have to.
Hey, the Generals score is a palindrome. 0-0-0-0-0-0. If you do that backwards, it's the same thing as a stolen base there by
insane.
Gould. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
However,
that might be the same thing.
I've come to find out that there's palindromic numbers, which includes the number 5 because it forwards and backwards is 5.
It's also every single digit number I see there.
Until 9, and then it's 11, 22.
Well, 10 isn't a single digit number.
Yes.
So
correct.
So 22 would be the next one. So pretty much it's just intervals of 11, and then
still
it's a little bit easier once you get into triple digits.
Well, then it's, not always intervals of 11, because 99 plus 11 is. Great job, 110. But
what are you talking? Yeah, but 11, 22, 33. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm watching the baseball game, John, and not looking up palindromic numbers.
I would like to point out
1 ball and 2 strikes.
John Lieber's the one officially scoring the game, so he has to be watching.
I am paying attention. It's 1-2, 2 outs.
And he rocks at it, too. This guy knows how to rock.
This guy right here really knows how to rock the game changer. Little Mahomey on that one, 2-2.
I was thinking that, maybe BP is a palindrome if you flip it upside down and reverse it.
It's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much.
But there might be a different word for that.
2-2 pitch is just inside, barely missed the zone against Paulie.
D?
Sure.
No, this is not the Jersey Shore. My apologies.
Yeah.
My apologies.
People here speak English. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second.
They do that. What?
They don't. You can never understand a single word they say on Jersey Shore.
I guess. Good point.
Mainly because they are intoxicated or be intoxicated. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Jones deals in a big swing and a miss there from Paulie, and that will end the 6th inning. When we come back from break, it's time to get immaculate with Mr. Charlie Schmidgall.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
For the best medical care you can be offered, go to Midwest Orthopedics. Providing a fast and speedy recovery for your injury. If you want to become the most immaculate version of yourself, visit Midwest Orthopedics today. And if you want to get immaculate on a grid, go to Mr. Charlie Schmidgall. It's the top of the 7th inning, brought to you by Midwest Orthopedics, which means it's time for Charlie Schmidgall to play baseball's Immaculate Grid. Today's Immaculate Grid, the top column, it's a lot of words today, 200-plus wins career pitching, a Silver Slugger, and a 6-plus WAR season. And the left side going down is the New York Yankees, the Cleveland Guardians, or the Cleveland Indians, or the Cleveland Spiders, and Cy Young.
Yep, and we'll take you through that step by step.
A nice sweeping curveball there.
I also
from
took
Djukovic to get the first strike for Davis. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
No, I apologize. I thought you were done.
Nope.
I also took my own attempt at the grid, and I find out that Madison Bumgarner never won a Cy Young, which is very
But 2 Silver Sluggers.
2 Silver Sluggers, a World Series MVP, 3 World Series.
There will never be a Silver Slugger awarded to a pitcher again, though.
Well,
unless Shohei wins one, sort of.
I think he'll
But
be
he
giving.
won't
No,
win it
he'll win it
as
as a
DH.
DH.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So my point still stands. So there's now there's actually a finite number of Silver Sluggers.
All right.
In the pitching.
So are we ready to dive into the grid here?
1 and 2. This one popped back to Djukovic and tossed over to first. Yes, we are, Charlie. Let me pull out Immaculate Grid for you, and then
I have my numbers all pulled up here. I already filled her in. So
okay, who do we got here today?
Yankees 200 career wins as a pitcher. We've got one of the greatest pitchers to ever do it, Randy Johnson, a 9% in the top left
Played
spot.
with the Yankees?
Yep. Silver Slugger on the Yankees, one of, I would say, my favorite Cub maybe ever, Alfonso Soriano. 2% for the Silver Slugger. He won at second. And then for a 6 WAR season, which for those of you that don't know, that's wins above replacement, which calculates the value added compared to a replacement level player.
It's the average replacement, right?
Yes.
Charlie and his analytics.
And
good explanation, though. I'm sorry.
No worries. And then, so I put Yogi Berra.
Okay.
Who
Oh,
was
all right.
4%.
Okay.
Ooh, I beat him there.
Who did you have in your spot there?
I had Roger Maris at 3%.
There you go.
Oh, I loved Roger
You'll
Maris.
definitely beat him on this one. This next one here. Go ahead.
All right, so for my next row, we've got Cleveland. I did 200 career wins pitching. The legend, Bert Blyleven.
Ah, that's a good one. I had Mel Harder.
Oh,
what was your percentage?
You went way into the back.
What was your percentage?
Yes.
Mine was 3.
His was 0.5.
Wow, very nice.
There you go, John. Just don't talk about the rest of the board.
And then in that middle spot, I have current White Sox hitting coach and one of my favorites out of the Cleveland teams, Silver Slugger Grady Sizemore.
Grady
3%.
Sizemore. So that's who we need to fire. All right, got it. 2-2 now. This one outside for a full count.
I think he's just technically an advisor to the hitters.
The pitching coach is not, unfortunately, Grady Sizemore, but it should be. What percentage was that?
3%,
Not
which
bad.
I was surprised. I thought more people would have put it together.
I did beat him again.
However, I will tell you my highest number is the next one.
That one swung and a miss there.
Buckley down.
From Buckley. I don't know why. I flipped my scorebook over for some reason.
Sometimes it happens to me.
Yeah. Going on.
All right.
Outlaws
so
up. Pause. Stop.
We have
No, we're stopping. This
Stop.
could be finished in the bottom
Stop.
of the 7th.
Josh Outlaw, previously at Parkland College, was an outfielder. Had 99 at-bats, 23 runs, 32 hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, no home runs, 19 RBIs, had a batting average of .323, on-base percentage of .429, and a slugging percentage of .424. We did it.
We did it.
We did fine.
It took 3 at-bats.
yeah. In the quite literal possible last at-bat of this guy's day. Go on, Charlie. I hate to interrupt. Immaculate grid for you
you're
there.
Okay. This is a Central Illinois legend. Went to Limestone High School and then went to Illinois Central College. Indians legend, 6+ WAR season, Jim Thome.
Oh, wow.
At 12%. Yes. Went to Illinois Central College, where my dad also did.
Also White
community
Sox
college.
legend.
He hit his 500th home run with the Chicago White Sox, which may not be the team he's known for, much like how did you know Frank Thomas hit his with the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we're in a 1-2 count here, but for Cy Young, 200 career wins. It's one of my favorite baseball names ever. I was thinking about it when you were talking about the lefties earlier. Catfish Hunter.
Catfish Hunter.
Probably the best name.
Oil Can Boyd is right there with him.
True.
0.6% on Catfish Hunter. A Cy Young and Silver Slugger winner. Another Cub that I really liked growing up, Jake Arrieta.
Oh, wow.
8%. He was a great hitter.
This one fouled off there.
Do you know what really annoys me about Jake Arrieta being your answer?
Huh.
That was what I was going to go with.
Yeah, and then you decided to go Mad Bum.
You should have done it so it would have increased his percentage.
Yep, and I picked him at 8%.
Would have been 15 if you selected it. And bottom right corner, Charlie, before we go to break.
Cy Young, 6+ WAR season, Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, wow.
I'm
saying wow to your thing. And now watching the game, I'm saying wow. You established your strike zone when the pitch starts. You can't duck out of the way.
Yeah. Also worthy of note, Keuchel, 0.4%.
And this one gets hit on a frozen rope to right field, and it will drop. Jugovic maybe feels like that one was stolen away from him there, and that will put a runner on first. An Outlaw with another hit. He has reached base 3 times today and has only gotten as far as first. So a great first outing offensively for the Outlaw.
Yeah, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a walk.
And Charlie, what was your final score?
I will check that right now. So if you add up all the percentages, comes out to 42 was my score on the grid today.
Our best one is still when Mike Jones bailed us out.
We probably had to buy
my Dr. Pepper for that one.
Little safety valve.
Mike Jones.
Yeah.
Boy, not your you actually called your starting pitcher
in the middle of an outing. Who was Mike Jones. Who was one of the popular answers?
Oh, here, I will look at that. By the way, I was looking at 6.5 WAR for Dallas Keuchel in his Cy Young season in Houston.
Remember when Dallas Keuchel was good? I remember. Throw down to second is not in time. And Outlaw will reach second base for the first time. Today he was thrown out back in the second inning. Gets a stolen base there. A lot of stolen bases on the day from both squads.
He lost his helmet. And actually, I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he's going to hand back his
base stealing
glove.
Of the game. I think he's coming out of the game here.
He hurt himself.
Oh, that's not good.
It's going to bring in, I don't know if it's his hand or what.
Number 39.
It's going to be Adana Barca coming in, who's a pitcher for the Generals. He's going to take his spot out there on second base.
And Outlaw walking back to the dugout right now, talking to Amir Wright. And Amir Wright's going to join him in the dugout as well. This might be a This might be a Hayden Myers call to the pen. Hayden Myers is our PA announcer, who's also an EMT, that's someone in the bullpen for you. For those of you a little bit confused there. So, yeah, some of the most popular answers, Charlie, is at 2-1 here.
200 career wins for Roger Clemens in the Yankees, Silver Slugger in the Yankees, Aaron Judge, who just did it last year, I believe. Now is in their first strike. Derek Jeter, 6+ WAR season, 16%.
You are right. It was in there for a strike. He also did swing Charlie, so that also is part of the strike as well. 2-2.
CC Sabathia.
And that will be strike 3 there to Holland. And we will hear a little bit more about the Immaculate Grid and what Charlie has to say about it when we come back for the bottom of the 7th.
You like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
That's right, Candace. We're getting multiple reports of this mysterious but powerful phenomena. People are experiencing a sound, after which they drop everything, and I mean everything, and run to their nearest White Castle. Now, we are urging folks to stay calm. There's no evidence that this...
Richard, we're live. When the crave calls, Richard, we're live. Go to White Castle for the $5 bacon bundle with 2 bacon sliders and a small fry. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Everybody's out there pulling some hammies, getting the quads warmed up. We might need to call someone in for relief for the Griffith Generals because General John Lieber just did a great service of walking down to the dugout. What happened to Outlaws, sir?
We're speculating.
Okay.
So I don't want to give you an answer right away. But I mean, he was walking fine off the field, so it's an upper body injury. So.
Okay.
The hockey answer there.
True.
So John's taking the route of no speculating and just saying it's a hand injury. I'm going to go worst case scenario. They're going to have to double amputate.
Listen, I'm not writing a novel here. I'm just going to let you know that he's got an upper body.
We're going to have to take him to. I mean, you hope it's not a clinic run. You know, nothing that has to be like a hard injury. Like it's just arm's a little broken. Not no. Arm's a little sore, not broken.
And I believe this is a new hitter entering the game. Zamarian Hatcher coming in
for Groberski.
Certainly not a performance issue on switching off of Groberski. I believe he was 3 for 3.
He was indeed. He scored once and reached third all 3 times. Obviously, you can't score without touching third.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But Hatcher takes his spot at the DH position and leads off the 7th inning here. The bottom of the 7th for the Oilmen. Skies turn to pitch black. All we have is the Eternal Flame. And this one gets sent outside. What's so funny, John?
Well, I just, it's an Eternal Flame, but technically it's not listed as an Eternal Flame, which kind of annoys me, I won't lie.
I think they should change what it's listed as.
Is there a public domain website of Eternal Flames?
Probably.
Are you looking at Immaculate Grid Basketball? I'll help you out with this.
I am.
Swap. Let me give you some guesses.
I would love to, except it's not working.
Oh, okay, love that. 3-1 now to Hatcher.
Also worthy of note for the Cy Young and Silver Slugger, only 7 players have ever done it.
Interesting.
Really? Mad Bum, not one of them.
As you discovered, strike there makes it a full count. So here we go. Immaculate Grid Basketball, top row is Spurs, born outside of U.S. and 50 states in D.C., so he's born outside of U.S. And then Hall of Fame, left side is Magic, Jazz, and Defensive Player of the Year. Good guess there, and that one is a ball 4 to Hatcher, so his first at-bat of the day. Has him walking down to first. Every time a batter in the 3 spot today for the Oilmen has been up to bat, they have reached base, so absolutely great on-base percentage for the 3-hitter today.
You could say it can't get any better.
Very true. I'm telling you right now, born outside of the U.S. in 50 states and Defensive Player of the Year, the most common answer will be Rudy Gobert, so don't put that one.
Yeah. I didn't want to anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Defensive Player of the Year, what a joke. One ball now here to Dasan Lee, who's had a okay day for himself. 2 strikeouts and a double. Mike Jones still on the mound for the Generals. Toss over to first. Gets away. Hatcher pops up like a weasel and tosses himself over to second. And that's going to be a throwing error.
Scoring decision E1.
And I feel like it's worthy of note, John's, I'm just going to say plural.
Yeah.
That's the first error we've seen in this game.
Unfortunate because it was a very clean game.
And as it always happens for the Generals, hopefully it does not lead to many more.
I was going to say, we have seen that a lot from the Generals. You know, as Luke Combs said, when it rains, it pours. And sometimes the Generals, it pours a lot when errors occur. One and one now. This one gets short snubbed over to the pitcher. Mike Jones can't pick it up, and Lee is off to the races. And his horse is going to come around first. And a single there from Dasan Lee. That moves Hatcher over to third. And Lee thought that he was just going to be out on that one. He kind of just shyly tossed his bat to the side. But once he saw that Jones was struggling with it, he hurried up and got over. Would go down as an IE. I have a thing called invisible errors.
Oh, gotcha.
Where things are kind of when you have to second guess whether it's a hit or an error or not, and you give it a hit, it's just like, you know what, this was a thing that happened in the game that resulted in a base runner or potentially a run. No outs now. Runners on first and third. And Noah Caceres up to bat now, the original Brick Monster, before he was dethroned quite literally 25 minutes later last night. Runner goes, throw down, another cutoff attempt from the Generals to stop the delayed steal. Doesn't get an out in any position, and Lee goes over to second, so runners on second and third now for the Oilmen. No balls, 1 strike to Caceres.
It's 2-1.
2-1 it is. Large gap in left center field. Center fielder Cam Buckley playing about 10 feet to the left of dead center.
Yeah, he's playing just the lefty batter, Caceres.
And he's a very strong pull hitter as well.
I was going to say, you hit one over the Brick Monster yesterday. You have to be a good one in order to do that. What?
That he did not hit one out of left field. That was so
Oh, you're right. I'm just making stuff up at this point. You can
he has hit all his home runs
Charlie,
out to
Charlie,
right.
I do understand you don't want to embarrass me. I do appreciate that. But you can just say that rather than looking like a lunatic with hand gestures sometimes. Three balls, 2 strikes now. And that one will be ball 4 and sends Caceres over to first. Now bases loaded with no outs, and the Oilmen, if they score 5 runs here, that would be the ball game, and that is eventually their overall goal in this position. This ball gets put to the outfield. Expect Tyler's uncle to send every runner around. Here's the windup from Jones. That one just inside to Wendling, who's been 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts and a ground out to short.
And I'll tell you what, Johnny is willing to play any position. He comes out here all the time to play. If you're trying to build this team to be like a castle, he's a cornerstone that you put right at the bottom because he is one of the base. If you need a guy, you can count on him.
Yeah, I think in a game at Brian Jennings Field against Griffith, was he not the catcher?
He was. He's caught. He's played the outfield. He's played the majority of the infield positions.
I feel like most games when the Generals play the Oilmen, he's sitting over at third base, but
that is
he's a corner.
Yeah.
He is a corner man. Best position, in my opinion, is third base.
It's his starting position at UIS as well.
Two balls, one strike now to Wendling. Bases loaded. Infield is spread out as much as they can be. This one outside will not touch the black. So ball 3. Buckley's going to return to just about dead center. Outfield's going to play about as spread out as they possibly can be. Middle infield, back corners are in. 3-1 pitch. And that one is fouled off by Wendling. Makes it a full count. You have no outs here for the Oilmen, so you have some wiggle room.
I will point out, Adana Barca is playing right field for the Generals, who is normally just a pitcher after the injury to Josh Outlaw.
Suspected injury, we should say. Nothing is official as of yet, and we hope there is nothing as of yet. And Wendling looks to the sky in frustration as he swings and misses there for his third strikeout of the day. Third for Jones.
Number 20, Quinn Flanagan.
Looks like we are going to have a pitching change here for the Generals after that out.
And with that, we will take a quick break here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network. We'll be back in just a few.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today. After our minimally invasive spine surgery, 80% of golfers maintained or improved their handicap. Be treated by the pros to play more like a pro. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
That's right, Candace. We're getting multiple reports of this mysterious but powerful phenomena. People are experiencing a sound, after which they drop everything, and I mean everything, and run to their nearest White Castle. Now, we are urging folks to stay calm. There's no evidence that this...
Richard, we're live. When the crave calls, Richard, we're live. Go to White Castle for the $5 bacon bundle with 2 bacon sliders and a small fry. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Just don't know which position he's going to.
And we will figure out what position he is going to here in a short minute. But Adana Barca will take the mound here for the Generals. That will be the last we see of Mike Jones. So bases loaded here for the Oilmen with 1 out. Quinn Flanagan, who is 0 for 3 on the day, and Emmanuel Scott, who is 0 for 3 as well. Scott's due for a hit. I would say Flanagan is as well, but if I had to pick one of those two guys to do so, it would be Scott. So here in this position, you're trying to get 5 runs and end the game early, send everyone home early. Drive safe, Whiting, beep, beep. But you can't do it here. Tell us a little bit about the suspected defensive changes here, John.
Yeah, so Abarca is going to come in from right where he had just started playing for the Josh Outlaw expected injury. With just 1 pitching performance so far this season against the Oilmen. 2 innings pitched, 5 earned runs in that inning off of 4 walks. Aiden Ellickson is going to go out to right field. Horacio Cabrales Jr., who was the DH today for the Generals, is now at first base. So now Ellickson in games against the Oilmen has had to play positions he normally doesn't. A first baseman, now playing right field. He also pitched in that 17-13 win that the Generals had over the Oilmen.
Whatever it takes, that's the name of the game. This one looks good, but is too high for ball 2. So here's Flanagan, who's over 3 on the day. Struck out his first time up. Ground out and flew out previously. 3-0 on him now. And if you're the Generals here and the Oilmen are looking to get 5 runs to end this game, you don't want to let them have it. Walking in a run here wouldn't feel good. For some reason, the green light was on there for Flanagan after seeing 3 straight balls.
Yeah, I think the green light might have been on because Zunkel wasn't back out to third.
Oh, there was no one there to give me a stop sign, so that must mean it's green as he goes down 3-2 there.
If I do not see the red octagon, I am going, says Quinn Flanagan. Anyway.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And there is finally ball 4. He does get it anyway. We would have, I don't know what we would have done if he struck out there, but we don't do it anyway. And it will now be a 6-0 ball game. 4 more runs till a walk-off here for the Oilmen.
Still only 1 out in the inning. No games until, Thursday after the All-Star break. Kind of, you don't want to go out on this, a run rule loss if you're the Generals.
That one floats in there for a ball. Once again, looks good, but isn't there. 1-1 with 1 out. Bases loaded now. It is Lee at third, Caceres at second, and now Flanagan at first. This one popped up and sent back.
All right, so a little bit of Generals Oilmen trivia that you'll know for next time. Adana Barca is the pitcher that allowed the Oilmen to tie the game going into the 9th inning in that 17-13 win for the Generals.
Okay. I'll remember that for third inning trivia on the All-Star game. Check swing there is held back by Scott. Makes it 2-2.
So that day it went Draza, and I don't remember who came in between. Hunter Smith, and then Adana Barca, and then Aiden Ellickson, who's now out in right field, had to pitch to close out that game. 100% on the save percentage for him. Actually, he's got the win.
2-2 is sent out high into left field. Outfield's going to track it down and make the grab is Buckley. Run will score. That one had a lot of movement on it, but not enough to put the ball out of the ballpark, but enough to put 1 run across the board. A 7-0 ball game now on the sacrifice fly from Scott.
Really nice job just finding the ball. You'd like to get a hit there, but at minimum, you put it out far enough to do a job and bring your team just a little bit closer.
That brings up Gould for the Oilmen. 1 for 3 on the day. Last time up was a single. This one into the dirt. The last thing you want to do here, if you're the Generals, is load the bases and have the top of the order come up after that. 1-0 pitch is low but called strike.
Yeah, and for the Generals, there's nobody listed left in the bullpen for tonight. Obviously, there are some guys in the field that can pitch for them, but I assume manager Amir Wright wouldn't want to go to them if possible.
2 balls, 1 strike now. It's Flanagan at first, Caceres at second. The Palindrome is no longer in the runs column for the Oilmen, but luckily it is still for the Generals. Big swing and a miss there. Makes it 2-2 to Gould.
If only the Oilmen didn't score 2 runs in the 5th and just scored 1.
No, I think that was a great idea of the Oilmen to score 2 runs. It's the Oilmen broadcaster anyway.
All right, Guy. How was your trip to Big Lots today?
It was all right. How was yours?
It was great. It was great. I got to see my friend.
Oh, did you?
He's
really?
the Oilmen broadcaster.
That's crazy. I saw my friend that was the Generals broadcaster.
I wasn't invited. 2 balls, 2 strikes is a 3-2 count. Throw down to first to try to back pick. Flanagan is no good, so makes it a full count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The potential to end this game right now. 1 swing of the at-bat does that.
That last pitch, 122 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's flinging them in there. It's hotter than the eternal flame in center field. And a 3-2 pitch is still hot as a strikeout there. So while the Oilmen still lead 7-0, it's somewhat of a somber moment as we will head into the top of the 8th right here on the Oilmen Sports Network when we return.
There's a shortage of roofers across the country. Here at Roofers Local 26, our signatory contractors are in need of a well-trained workforce, and it's our job to provide that workforce. We are looking for people that are self-motivated, people that are reliable, people that are willing to give a hard day's work. In return, they get a good paycheck with good benefits. This is not a job, this is a career. If you're willing to put the time and dedication in, we're willing to provide you the tools and training necessary for you to succeed in the roofing industry. We've been doing this for almost 100 years. We know how to get the job done.
Breaking news fashion here from Whiting. Number 1, Cole Deerdorf is on the mound. That's not breaking news, but Chicago Bulls small forward DeMar DeRozan, who announced he was not going to re-sign in free agency, is off to California. And for those of you who know his history, no, it's not the Lakers, no, it's not the Clippers, and no, it's not the Warriors. He's going to Sacramento. A good pickup from them. I'll tell you what, if you combine the guys from Sacramento with DeMar DeRozan, that's a pretty clutch team.
It is. And, I mean, you've got a really good group of guys. You got Sabonis, Malik Young. I mean,
Malik Monk.
Malik Monk is what I meant to say. I'm sorry. You were just trying to multitask here. I'm not good at it.
And as a Bulls fan, I've had to endure a lot of suffering the last couple of years, so I'm very glad to see DeMar DeRozan off the team. Not because I dislike DeMar DeRozan. I really liked him, but not having a good player on the team means we're not going to be good, and we'll get a higher draft pick. But who knows? Maybe Patrick Williams and Kobe White become the next Kobe and Shaq, and we dominate for the next 15 years.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But
yeah, don't you dare draw that comparison.
That had to work out fine, right?
Right?
I mean, it did.
Do you remember that week straight where DeRozan had 6 game winners in a row?
Yeah, all against the Pacers.
Yes, but it was fun.
I mean, you got to remember, DeMar DeRozan, his first year with the Bulls, was up for MVP talks for I'd say a good 40% of the season.
Yeah. My sister actually has a DeMar DeRozan Bulls jersey.
I have a Zach LaVine one.
It might be time to definitely put that one in the eternal flame. I don't care if he's still on the team or not. But Cole Deerdorf on the mound. No, we kind of sidelined him for DeMar DeRozan. We're sorry, Cole. No disrespect to you. Charlie, do you want to tell us about Cole Deerdorf just a little bit?
Yeah, Deerdorf is a very good pitcher. He's got a lot of good stuff, but what has been missing lately for him has been the control. It was a conversation we were having before the game last time out. He had a lot of trouble finding the strike zone, and that was something he was looking to correct here. And if you remember, John, that last time out was against the Griffith Generals. I think that was the putting 2 and 2 together look on your face. I confirmed it.
He's starting to learn.
Was that a start for him?
It was indeed.
Okay.
He is not usually a starter. He usually comes out of the pen for the team, and that can make a difference for guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll have to see if he'll settle in and look a little more comfortable. You're out of the pen.
2-1 now to Cabrales, who was just the DH, but now the first baseman for the Generals after some potential injuries, substitutions, shifts. Slide to the left. Take it back now, y'all. That's what's happened with the Generals here.
3 claps this time. He's going to interface back into the box here. Oh, now he's going over to first.
Takes a walk there. His first time on the base path today. Previously 0 for 2. Still 0 for 2, not previously.
Jerkadis 1 for 1, all of his hits on the year still against the Oilmen. Coming up to the plate now. But we are going to have a little bit of a mound meeting, and I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know.
Charlie, did you have fun at Big Lots? Did you go anywhere else afterwards?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Charlie and John saw each other at Big Lots today, and that was the highlight of their day.
It was.
It really was.
I didn't even know Big Lots still existed, if I'm being completely honest with you.
You got to go to the one in Maryville. It's much better than the one in Portage. Sorry to the one in Portage. I went to Bob's Discount Furniture today.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
A good store. You're able to get some pretty good furniture, which I got for my apartment. And the best part is they'll deliver it and assemble it so I don't have to.
Wow.
All I have is
I have to assemble it what I bought at Big Lots. So.
I have a sedan, so it's not exactly great for moving the large furniture items. That was more my concern in the matter.
You got to get the IKEA box. It's flat. There's nothing to it, and then you put it all together, but they didn't give you the Allen wrench. So then you're looking around for an Allen wrench.
First pitch to the bane of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen, Jerkadis, is a ball. Big swing and miss there from him, 1-1. Can we confirm or deny that Jerkadis doesn't cork his bat when he plays the Oilmen? Can we get a
Sammy Sosa scan.
Can we get a cross-section of that?
You know, I was talking to him the day on the 26th, I think, is the last time I saw him. And that was the day we got an 11-5 win over the Miracle at home. I said, you only show up for Oilmen and Miracle games, right? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, I only have hits against the Oilmen, too. So we were hoping he was there the next day against the Vikings on Saturday. So I think he was hoping to get a hit there, but he didn't.
I was going to say, well, knowing by your stats, he didn't. 3 balls, 1 strike now. Runner on first for the Generals. That one into the dirt. And Cabrales will take off for first, but it was a ball 4 situation. Heads up, base running there.
He took off for a second there and then looked up and was like, oh, wait, it's ball 4. What am I doing?
Lineup will reset here for the Generals.
He was ready to run.
He was.
That's what you want to see from your base runners, ambition.
That pitch called a ball. Deerdorf struggling to find the zone right now. I'm currently side-eyeing Basketball Immaculate Grid, and I have 3 players who I think add up to one of John's he's put in, so needless to say, I am better.
So I do have some details on that DeMar DeRozan trade following.
Oh, yeah. Who did we get?
So
it's a trade?
It was a 3-team sign-in trade.
Well, players because DeRozan.
I got you.
Okay,
yeah, because of the salary situation. So Harrison Barnes is going to the Spurs. The Bulls are getting Chris Duarte and 2 second-round picks as well as cash consideration.
I was really hoping we would get like Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I was really hoping that next few words out of your mouth were Victor, Webben, and maybe Yama. Unfortunately, it's Chris Duarte, who is what?
He's all right.
Defensive specialist in the year of our Lord 2024.
Did he ever play for the Jazz or the Magic?
I'll tell you what, he was all right in that rookie year in Indianapolis. Just kind of saw his role diminished.
Did he play for the Thunder?
No, just the Pacers and the Kings. He was in the Tyrese Halliburton trade.
Oh. Who am I thinking about in the Thunder? I don't know.
Are you thinking of someone on the Thunder who played for the Kings?
No.
Or the Pacers?
No, Thunder player who's just a defensive specialist.
Alex Caruso.
Old days Andre Roberson.
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort.
Is that who you're thinking of? Or? Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Full count now. That one's at the knees and will be a ball 4. So Deerdorf will load the bases here on 3 straight walks. And I'm going to take a little bit of an opinion piece here for Hockman. Don't even walk up with a bat at this point.
But he wants to extend his team-leading 15 RBIs.
He can do that by walking to 16. Go on. So bases loaded here. No outs, no balls or strikes. That's a ball. Some fan here in attendance just said stop throwing like that. Well, he's trying. Yeah, if only. If I said that to myself, I'd be in the MLB right now.
Just throw strikes, kid.
Check swing is unsuccessful, 1-1.
You guys ready for another really long game here?
I mean, what do you mean, am I right? We're in it.
It's only 9:30.
This one fouled off. I mean, I've already missed Mr. Funnyman at Highlands Town Fair. You know who that is?
I think I've seen them.
Mr. Funnyman is far and away the best.
Is that the band with like 17
Oh,
people
yeah.
in it? They played
they have
the
like
corn
every
roast
they
at
have
Crown
like
Point.
every instrument available.
Yeah.
They're so good. They play a lot of like Chicago, not only Chicago the band, but like bands from Chicago. This pass ball off the brick and right back to Scott. He forgets to pick it up, though, but luckily no runner advances. One ball, 2 strikes now here to Hockman. 2-2, excuse me. Deerdorf stretches, and a big swing and a miss there for the first out of the inning, and the crowd gives him a hefty applause. on the swing and miss. Hackman, that's his back-to-back strikeouts from him.
Now brings up 0 for 3 Aiden Alexson. He's not playing right field today. Not today. Since the last inning. Alexson 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts and a pop out to the right fielder.
1 ball, no strike. This one at the back foot to Alexson. I'm just going to say he's playing the field now.
He's out there.
He's playing defense. Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes. He might need to run over from right field and make that grab it first just in case. You never know. The most intense form of back up the throw you've ever seen in baseball. And this one, I think, hit him right on the kneecap. That's not going to feel good. He's going to stoically run this one down, and that will put in a run. And there goes the shutout for the Oilmen. And so Cabrales scores. Jerkadis moves to third. Osteen moves to second, and Alexson moves to first. I don't know what's happening with John Lieber, to be completely honest. I think he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
To be completely and totally
His
honest.
sanity is fleeting.
Yeah.
All right, but it brings up Trip Davis again 0 for 3 tonight. Did you just say this? I feel like my headset was a little off.
I definitely didn't say it, but I would have if you didn't, so thank you.
Right.
That one looks good, and the umpire will give it to him.
Davis 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out.
Bases loaded still. At this point, Deardorff, I think Deardorff's just trying to get out of this inning by himself when he can very much just, hey, man, put it in play. We got bases loaded. The odds we get a force-out double play are high. This one right back at us.
I would have caught it.
John Lieber was all over it despite the windows being closed.
It's open on my side. I was
2
scared.
strikes. It wasn't going your way, Charlie. I promise you it was not. It was straight back, and you're at least 5 feet off to the right.
He's got stretch man arms, though. He was going to get out there and grab it.
Okay, all right. 0-2. This one chest high, but called a ball.
Yeah, and Deardorff, 27 pitches so far in this inning. Just 1 out with the bases loaded here. Facing the middle of the order in the 4-hitter Trip Davis, just trying to get an out here to move himself on to Cam Buckley.
1-2. This one outside again. Deardorff once again losing control of that zone, trying to reel it back in.
And like I said earlier, the Generals hoping to just get this game a little closer, get a little confidence going into the All-Star break.
Yeah, for a lot of these guys, they're not playing for a couple of days here, so this might be the last chance they have to get some work in. And so they're going to take every at-bat as seriously as they can. The 3-2 pitch from Deardorff is, I don't know what it was called. The umpire really made it the oddest gesture of all time. It was a strike 3?
Yeah, I guess.
It was a strikeout, apparently, despite it being probably about 4 feet inside.
I think they're maybe saying he went around.
I definitely didn't do that either. But 2 outs, regardless, the Oilmen will take it. Everyone there was confused, and I think Scott was confused as well. First base was occupied, obviously, with bases loaded. And that will bring up Buckley for the Generals. Has struck out twice today and flew out to center field. That one clocked in at 136 miles per hour.
It just reaches 936.
Yeah. Eventually, if we play an afternoon game, people might think that that's the clock, Big swing and a miss there, 1-1. Like we play an afternoon game, people are like, 1:30. It's like, no, he actually threw that ball 138 miles per hour. And you get a rumor started.
We should record those stats down for these pitchers.
We should, 1-1. We'll definitely get them. They'll definitely be highly recruited. The Northern League has somehow produced 8 of the next Paul Skeens. That kid's going to blow his arm out. I like Paul Skeens, but he needs to dial it back before he gets Tommy John surgery before the age of 23.
But he's got the water backpack.
That is interesting.
1-2. They're going to call it a ball. 2-2 with 2 outs on probably the only surefire strike Deerdorf has thrown tonight.
I thought it was a little low.
2 balls, 2. I'm just going to talk over Charlie. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded here. Top of the 7th inning, and there we go. Deerdorf, there's another strikeout. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Deerdorf, though. The scorebook tells a much different story. Only 1 run is let up, and we will head to the bottom of the 8th, here on the Oilmen Sports Network.
Go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an iron worker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
BP's natural gas teams use Smart App technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Bottom of the 8th here on the Oilmen Sports Network. The Oilmen now need 4 runs once again to walk off this game. And everyone in attendance wishes they would do it. Not us, though. We are happy to be here and always happy for more baseball.
I we're also a chicken breast.
And we're also happy. We are very happy, John, to be here. And we're happy that wherever you are watching, whether on Facebook, Twitter, Jed TV, Region Sports Network, we thank you for joining us here tonight and welcoming us into your home and into your airways. John Massey, John Lieber, Charlie Schmidgall.
I think part of my exit interview with the Northern League this year will be we should get some chicken breast sandwiches at all the ballparks.
I love them.
Maybe a little barbecue, a little seasoning. I don't really think.
Okay, can you just tell me what inside joke we're trying to get?
No,
here?
I want chicken sandwiches.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't know.
What we should do.
I went to the store afterwards.
What we should do is, because budgetary reasons, we should get a live chicken and behead it and then cook it up ourselves.
Watch it run around for a little while.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Would you call that
I do
running?
know that.
Call that
reckless running?
I don't know that I'd call it reckless. I'd more refer to as,
So, fun
directionless.
fact, my brother-in-law from Colorado grew up on a chicken farm.
Okay. It's getting better. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh. I was just telling a personal story that you're laughing at. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. I guess we'll go back to baseball now. Enough of me. Back to Jalen House, top of the order here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch, a strike to him. Is it still Barque on the mound, John?
It is.
Okay. Barque on the mound for the Generals. And that one dealt in there for a strike again. 0-2 now here to House. 1 for 4 on the day from him with 2 strikeouts and a single. Scored once back in the 5th inning. Gets a piece of that one, and it's a short chopper to first, easily picked up, and the step on the bag for the out.
Brings up Jake Pauley, who's 1 for 2 on the day, with a single up the middle.
Right fielder number 42, Jake.
Single up the middle along with a walk. He was also hit by a pitch. First pitch to Pauly, I believe, was a ball.
So 1-0 now. Make that 1-1. We just have to get aggressively more and more passive until Hayden Myers does his job.
I see.
We're gonna start bringing in a collection of cinder blocks, and we're just gonna throw it at him until he correctly does the scoreboard.
Hey, he's got the scoreboard
1
right.
and 2.
95% of the time.
It's that 5% that we really need to focus on.
I've got the scoreboard right.
There you go. That's all that matters. 1 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes now. Make it 3-2. Excuse me, a full count here with 1 out, no runners on. In the bottom of the 8th, this one's looking like it's going to go the full 9 yards at this point. I'll ask you this question, John.
Okay.
I said, all right. I have told this one to. They're appealing, and
yeah,
I'm going to say he went. All right. Thank you for the decision. 45 days later, Luigi.
I thought, well, no, because the home plate umpire, when you get a walk, he points to first base.
Yeah,
so I think that's what Luigi thought the home plate umpire was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Now it's 2 outs, and it's
who knows,
natural.
folks? Who knows? So, fun fact: I told this to Charlie. You know where the phrase "the whole 9 yards" comes from? I've told this previously on the broadcast. I've
feel
told
like
this to Charlie.
You told it to me on a previous broadcast.
I definitely haven't.
Okay.
I just remember I said it in Elkhart. So in World War II era planes, right? When they were still using propellers, and they had machine gun fires, the bullets were held in the wing in a very long chain, and you didn't really get that much ammo, and so the chain of bullets was 9 yards.
Oh.
So when you would reload, it was called the whole 9 yards, and that's where the phrase comes from.
Okay, that makes sense.
2-0 now to Hatcher, who walked his last time up and scored.
Anybody know where the term "can of corn" comes from?
I do, actually. Would you like that one?
Go on, Chuck.
So on the top shelf, apparently, they used to always have cans of corn, and older people would have to kind of just whack them off and then try to catch them when they came back down.
I've heard it was because it was on the top shelf. A person of the store would come with a stick and knock the stick off. Either way, it means when it drops dead straight and you have to catch it.
I see.
I don't usually think of corn being a top shelf item in the vegetable aisle, but I guess
vegetable.
As a short guy, I've never seen
2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, Hayden Myers. Yeah.
Whew. I mean, he's
Hayden Myers flame down there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That one swung on and put into play. Left side of the infield, picked up by Barkey and tossed over for a quick and hot out. And we will head to the top of the 9th here at Oil City. Everyone thought we were getting out early, but the Oilmen say no. And we'll be back on the network when we come back from these messages.
Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
It's common for back patients to have a lot of questions, but at Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we ask a lot of questions too. We want to know about their jobs, their hobbies, their lifestyle. Because spinal conditions are oftentimes complex and multifaceted, the best solutions take into account work and lifestyle. The spine is at the basis of everything that we do and who we are. For us, surgery is not the first priority. Finding the least invasive option to give you your life back is.
And whether it's kicking and screaming, we will play a 9th inning here at Oil City. So right now the Oilmen draw a line in the sand and say, this is the amount of runs you have. We gave you 1, and that is it. So unless the Generals somehow piece together 6 runs here in the top of the 9th, it's going to be John Lieber giving me a thumbs up of approval on what needs to be done.
Do you know what a volcano does?
Erupts.
Generals are a volcano in this inning.
They're going to erupt
with runs.
Oh, you know what volcanoes also do? They go inactive, so they'll probably do that as well.
I think it's called dormant.
They will have to. It's an inactive volcano,
which is dormant. Please use the correct terms.
How about you do me a favor? How about you go dormant and for the remainder
all right,
of the
guys, I'll be here. I'll talk to you at the end of the game.
It will be Quinn Flanagan closing the game for us. I'll hand it off to Charlie to tell you a little bit about Flanagan.
Yeah, Flanagan's been known to get the ninth inning for this Oilman team. He's picked up a couple of saves this year. He primarily does come out of the pen. Doesn't really have a ton of stuff that's going to overwhelm you. The audience should be fairly familiar with him by this point. He's a pretty regular as both a hitter and pitcher in this group. But honestly, I mean, you know what he's going to give you, and it's going to be balls in play and light contact, and that's what you need.
And this one is hit to the infield by, it is
Adana Barca.
Adana Barca, excuse me. I have it in my belt, but he is out of the game, so I apologize about that.
And hello, everybody. We're doing a little radio action here after the camera turned off again.
The camera did not turn off. I'm looking at
Nope,
pictures.
it's my fault. Hang on, give me a second, folks.
Every now and again, you get the happy feet under the desk. You step on the cord. Oh, and you're...
All right. Braylon Holland at the plate. He takes strike one from Flanagan. Second pitch side and stopped back there by Scott as it rolls a little towards the first base dugout. And we're back. And now John Mastay will do what I was just doing.
Leaving?
I'm leaving?
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'll see
Wait, no,
you.
that just leaves me.
1 ball, 1 strike. Now that one not being able to be picked up by Scott.
I feel like there's some undertones here. Do you guys not like me?
No, we love John Lieber.
No, we love working. We love having you at Oil City. You know what? I love doing games at Griffith, too.
Okay.
I prefer doing games at Griffith, I'm being completely honest with you. Not because it's one stoplight away from my house. But
Oh, right, yeah. I was confused on where that was going because I couldn't remember why.
This one fouled back.
Little transparency in the broadcast here. We closed the windows, and I have no idea. I can't even hear the ball off the bat. So the ground out that ended the bottom of the eighth, thought it was he swung and missed, and it went off Jerkaitis behind the plate. I'm a little lost right now.
Have you considered, out of curiosity, maybe just watching the game?
You know, I am watching the game, but the swing.
I'm just wondering if that's maybe an option in the cards. What is this? Trouble with a curve where it's like you can't see it. I can hear the way the curveball comes in on the leather. My name's Clint Eastwood. I'm a cowboy.
Yeah, Braylon Holland's going to take first base.
A good movie, a good baseball movie. Well, I think we were asking John about our.
There was Seth.
Did we
talking about baseball movies?
We were asking, but
you asked us all.
What was your answer for favorite baseball movie?
I think I said either Major League or Moneyball.
Yeah,
I think you said Moneyball because that was my answer as well. Even though it's not an accurate movie, it's an enjoyable movie.
$1 Million Arm, great movie. Draft Day, better movie.
Which one is $1 Million Arm? Is that the one? Is that the one with John Hamm and he goes to India?
Yes,
I love that movie.
Sure, that's
good movie.
John Hamm.
Good movie. This one gets clubbed over to left field. It's going to be picked up quickly by who's in left field now?
Zamarian Hatcher.
Indeed, that is
going to be picked up by Hatcher and tossed in quickly to move the runner around to second. And Cabrales finally with a hit on the day, walks over to first.
And the Generals maybe a little too late here. They need 6 runs to tie it. They've got an out already. Now just run one runner in scoring position, 2 on.
Yeah, well, like a volcano.
They could erupt.
Yeah.
Do you guys see any of those pictures?
Like a volcano, there's going to be really inconvenient to anybody in the area. What?
All right, I'm not going to talk now. I was going to mention the pictures from Sicily after Mount Etna.
No, Etna.
Erupted and left all that volcanic soot and ash, like layers of it. Like everybody's okay, but the city was covered in soot and ash, which is interesting.
All right. Thank you, John. This one gets hit high and hard into left center field, and Hatcher is going to briskly fly over for the grab. Jerkaitis flies out on the play. An F7 in your scorebook if those of you following along at home. And it will potentially end where it begins as Osteen steps into the batter's box as the lineup resets. And we'll see what happens here, if the Oilmen can get out of this inning or if the Generals will play an extra life.
Osteen 1 for 3 on the day.
And this one gets tossed in there. For a strike, 0-1. Flanagan looks back, tosses it in. This one gets hit high and over the head of Caceres and tossed in. There's going to be a throw to the plate. This might be it, and it is! A game-ending throw out at the plate. One of the most interesting ways to finish a game, and the Oilmen do it.
Yeah, not a bad decision by Amir Wright to send him there. You're creating a play at the plate to attempt to make it a 7-2 ball game. If it doesn't work out, you have to take it as the manager. As you know, we ended the game a little early,
and that's something that the Generals will have to walk away with is a loss, and the Oilmen celebrate on the field. It will be a couple of days before the Generals and the Oilmen return to regular season play, as all teams across the Northern League will be breaking for the All-Star game. But I'm going to hand the reins off to Mr. Charlie Schmidgall, and after these messages, we'll start the Northwest Indiana Oilmen postgame show.
Candace, we're getting multiple reports of this mysterious but powerful phenomena. People are experiencing a sound, after which they drop everything, and I mean everything, and run to their nearest White Castle. Now, we are urging folks to stay calm. There's no evidence that this...
Richard, we're live. When the Crave calls, Richard, we're live. Go to White Castle for the $5 bacon bundle with 2 bacon sliders and a small fry. White Castle. Follow your Crave.
What are you pointing at me for, man? You're the host.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
We're here.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the post-game show where we have gone final. Oilmen picking up another victory, 7-1. 10 hits for them, no errors. 7 hits, 1 error for the Griffith Generals. And, I mean, there were a lot of good things to take away here for the Oilmen being able to capitalize, putting up 10 runs here, John.
Yeah, the Oilmen came out and did what they were going to do against the Generals and what they've done all season, and that is put up runs. Now, sometimes the Generals are able to respond, and just today was one of those games where they couldn't do it. Normally between these two teams, it's always a good contest, but today the Generals just couldn't get the bats going.
And for you, John Lieber, 7 hits for your team, but only able to produce 1 run out of it. And also worthy of note, never gave up more than 2 runs in an inning. So you did a good job of keeping out the big innings, but just couldn't capitalize on it all being together.
Yeah, and also only 1 error. The infield played pretty great today with the Trip Davis, Cole Hockman, Osteen, Ellickson, and then at the end, Cabrales in the infield. So they did well. That's been cleaned up a little better with certain alignments in the infield. But, yeah, a 7-1 loss is not great when you have 5 days to think about it before the next game.
No doubt about it. And the White Castle Player of the Game, the greatest award in sports, ready to be given away. But before we do that, you can be the White Castle Player of the Game by going to your local White Castle, $3.99, 12 smoky barbecue chicken rings. Give them a try. Tell us what you think next time we come back. So with that, it's 3 for 3, 2 RBIs. Ryan Groberski never got a chance to get that 4th and 5th at bat, but man, he was good today.
I mean, the 3 slot in general was good today because Hatcher came in and walked, and then was able to score as well. So there was something about number 3 today. Good things come in thirds, and that's why Gruberski went 3 for 3.
So with that, we will mark the end of our coverage. 7-1, Northwest Indiana Oilmen get the win. Next time, we'll all be back in action. Will be the All-Star game on the 9th. Make sure you tune in right here on our Facebook. Lots of big names going to be here. It's going to be a great time. And until then, be safe. Enjoy your holiday weekend. And on behalf of John Lieber, John Mastay, and Charlie Schmidgall, the great rest of your evening.
McCree Mains and Overwatch be like, oh, I hit your